while it was just killing every Protoss player. Then Rain and a lot of them started to figure out, what do you think is the best counter to these aggressive Hydra options that Zergs are killing so many Protoss with these days?
You're asking me?
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of people are saying to just go straight into Speed Zealots.
Yep, that sounds good.
And try to put some pressure on. But it's hard. I mean, one of the things about that build is you don't always know. First of all, it's hard to get a read on that exact build unless you can get a worker count at each base, right? From the Protoss. It is kind of hard to ferret out exactly what's going on. I'm almost hoping we're just going to get in that situation and then Rain's going to show us. You know what I'm saying?
That is true. Like, we are here to learn. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care if you guys are the best experts in the world. Rain's got something to teach everybody, because right now, at least if you're not like at the top tier, it's hard to be a Protoss player versus Zerg these days.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, it's. This is why I want to see what happens. By the way, again, it's oh sorry, that was Overpull there.
Right.
Once more, and it looks like it's going to be the Forge opening now.
Yes. Still getting out here to scout the middle of the map, though, for Zero. He wants to make sure he's not going to have take 2 on that 9-9 gate from game 1.
So we might have a cannon rush here. They seem to not work as often, but...
You know, I keep hoping, because I don't think I've ever seen a cannon rush work.
Well, this is the thing. Like, I used to cannon rush a lot. Like, people meme about it now, but, like, at the time... They always worked.
Okay.
You have to understand, like, at that time, because it was so new, people just didn't know what was going on because good players didn't do it. Until you realized, oh, I can, like, wedge cannons in these weird spots. And by the way, I can also play a macro game. So it's not just that I'm, like, a person that wants to attack you with buildings, like, and then go into a macro game and get ahead. But this time around, Rain went for...
Oh!
Damn. That was
wow.
sick. He just went for Forge Nexus Cannon.
Yeah, not playing greedily at all. If you want to get super greedy, obviously you can just throw that in the Nexus first, but then you really got to hold on. And especially if the Zerg scouts it, you're in a lot of trouble. So safe builds on both sides. Finally, we get a chance to see what it looks like when these guys play straight up.
Yeah, so this is what PvZ normally looks like.
So if you're taking notes, then this should be kind of what your games look like for the most part.
Yeah, yeah.
Unless you're playing against B Protosses.
I was going to say, actually, you can go even lower than that. Lower tier Protosses are always just making gateways in random spots on the map, because if it's 2 players of low skill, you can just attack into the other one.
Yeah, it's hard to learn from pro games if you're just getting started with StarCraft, because maybe you have solid...
for all the races, yeah.
That's true.
It's just like, there's dumb stuff you can do with all the races that just will even beat somebody who's actually pretty decent, but probably won't work over and over again.
Yeah, I'm just waiting to see what Zero has as his answer to try to come back in this series, because, okay, there's the lair. That's one way to do it. His third hatchery, though, is coming up, so already something we never saw in that last game's opening.
So, we have, again, with this layer tech here, this all looks very standard, very par for the course in this matchup.
Right.
We're waiting to see... I'm assuming there's going to be a Stargate, but then what, right? Is it going to be just Zealots with legs? Is it going to be a quick DT? Sometimes they even get 2 Stargates. That's not uncommon as well. You get 2 Stargates and just start really applying a lot of pressure on them, because if they go for a quick Spire opening and they don't have Hydras to cover, sometimes it just snowballs. They start to lose a lot of Overlords. But I feel as though both races are supposed to play as straight up as possible on this map.
Now, if you'll notice, Zero actually, if I'm not mistaken, okay, no, I was checking his third base, making sure that he was still trying to make drones, because I'm watching for those drone numbers, the 973 numbers of drones to kind of tell me if he's going to go for this big early Hydra aggression. And of course, Rain's looking for that too.
Yeah, now we have the Spire here.
Yeah.
So, doesn't seem like that.
Right. And he got a lair too, so that also tells you he's not going for like the fastest Hydra bust in the world.
Right. But, you know, there's so many Hydra busts of different shapes and colors that I'm never going to count it out fully. Now, there's the first Corsair coming out shortly here. For now, it appears as though we're just going to see the Zerg player drone up. We could see this enter into a 6-hatch, 3 bases, 6-hatch Hydra play with Mutas incorporated. This was more popular last year, especially.
Yeah, how is the 6-hatch different from 5-hatch? Because I think 5-hatch Hydra is sort of pretty generic.
Well, 5-hatch, you're probably going to be teching a little bit more. With 6-hatch, you're trying to get a lot of Hydras out, and you want to be able to remake Hydras very quickly. to the point where, and usually what happens is that, and we're still in the early phase of this, but let's say it's 6-hatch Hydra. You'll try to chase the Corsairs out. You'll get a lot of Hydras. You'll get a decent number of Mutas. And what you're trying to do is pick off their Templars and just overrun them with Hydras. And you're trying to keep the Protoss on 2 bases forever. And sometimes overrun them. Now, sometimes you have really good Protosses that just take a third, sit back. And you can experience this on ladder where they just keep attacking into you and you just hold everything off, and then you've won the game basically because they don't have a plan.
Yeah, they kind of kill themselves or exhaust themselves trying to get the damage done without doing it.
Artosis was joking about Gateway Man, which was this thing where they hardly teched at all. They just made gateways and played pretty blindly. And a Terran who's just trying to expand pretty normally gets overrun.
Right.
I was joking, this is sort of like Hydra Man, if it is 6-hatch, like we're seeing, where they're just going to make so much stuff.
Yeah, if you got a Z and an H key, I think you're probably okay. But the mutas and the tech switch to mutas is super important because Zero specifically had that super clutch ZVP that he won against Mini in the quarterfinals from some super crucial muta switches that really caught Mini off guard. And there are the mutas that we were talking about.
So he might try to go in here for an assassinate on the Corsairs. He wants to try to find the Corsairs first. There they are. Now the Scourge are probably going to try to dive in.
Oh.
Okay, he's going to back up instead. So it's pretty straightforward for the Protoss, this part of the game at least. Oh, that's cute. I didn't know that. You could trap a probe in the above that gateway in the natural.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know that. So that's good. That's the probe that he has selected inside the control group with the Corsairs. To keep them bunched. A lot of people do it behind the minerals.
I'll tell you, the biggest hallmark of knowing if it's a pro player or not, you just look at their SimCity. Like, guys have the most beautiful bases you've ever seen, especially Terran players, but also, I guess, Protoss as well, trapping that probe up there.
Okay, so we might have a few more mutas out here. This seems like a very odd number. It's 5 right now.
Yeah.
But if we see some more come in here.
And I haven't seen too many Hydras right now either.
Well, the Hydras are going to come in a little bit later.
Yeah.
Sometimes you see players get Hydras and then get the mutas. See, the Hydras are starting now.
Yep.
But he's staying on this. And I think this is 6-hatch. I think I saw 3 hatches in the third base.
Yeah. Oh, DT trying to run in. Good spread of Overlords, sees that coming, but yeah, there is the 6th hatch. So he is really trying to macro super hard right now. Now, all this is designed to stop the Protoss player from ever being able to take a third base right now, or correct?
Yes. I mean, Protoss probably isn't going to try to expand just yet. You want to power, because if you do try to expand,
you're super dead.
This is how you die.
Yeah.
So what Protoss did to solve a lot of this is to just stay back a little bit longer. And then when you really feel like you have everything, like you have enough Corsairs, you have enough Templars, okay, he's going to try to slip through here on the left side.
Okay.
A little bit of a quicker expand than I thought.
Yeah, but look, Zero already ahead of the game. He's got a Zergling blocking that Expo spot. And so I think, actually, he's got another Zergling at the other third base location.
So we're actually seeing the massive 6-hatch Hydra production now. Now, what's funny about this is, again, it wasn't a lot of mutas. It was like the bare minimum.
Yeah.
It almost looks like it's there to generate the illusion of a lot more Mutalisks coming out when it's not really. That's just not a normal number.
Can you like fake a knee-jerk reaction where the Protoss player like overreacts to that?
Yeah, I think that's what we're in some sense seeing here. Now, the Corsairs are continuing to move through the map, just a little bit more roaming here.
Oh, Scourge are so dumb. Oh, he just stopped right in front of him.
What's at the bottom of the map? What is that?
I'm watching that.
I don't know what that is down there.
I think he's actually setting up for either another base. I thought it was the Corsairs, but they're actually at the natural.
I think it's some Zealots or something.
Yeah. I think he split off a few Zealots and might be looking to either
it's speed lots.
Yeah, sneak in or stop another base. Okay, he's going to sneak the Zealots in behind the Hydras.
I'm very fascinated with what the plan is here, because it doesn't seem like this is going to do anything.
Yeah, this is SEAL Team 6 down here trying to make it in for some cheeky drone kills, but got caught out underneath an Overlord. Now the Mutas should be able to take these out.
So it takes Zealots a very long time to ever kill.
Oh no, the probe's sleeping on the job, trying to stop that base from coming up.
I almost wonder if those Zealots were intended to come down there and actually kill a hatchery, because 6 Zealots is a good number to try to snipe a hatch. And you know that their Zerg is probably going to try to take a 4th eventually, and it usually is the main. Sometimes it's the natural.
Well, either way, Rain knows about it now, and it's kind of interesting to me to see what Rain's army movement looks like, because not only did he pull those Zealots back, but he also hasn't ever brought his army totally together to make one big powerful move. It's always like split up, and I guess now finally he's down there in the bottom right to cancel that hatch.
The funny thing about it is that you can't really attack into the Protoss if they've got 2 base and they're powering this hard, right? You're waiting for them to take a third, so he's going to get the deny if he targets correctly with all these Zealots.
Oh, I'm looking at the mini-map. There's so much Zerg coming down here to stop this.
So I think he's going to be able to get that hatchery, I think. And then we're going to have to wait and see. Okay, hold on. Yeah. This was a cute little deny here. Does he get this? He does. Okay.
So which was better there? The cancel
better
on
for the Protoss.
Okay.
Protoss wants this. Because Zerg hasn't actually done that much with a 6-hatch Hydra, because Rain didn't give Zero the opportunity he was looking for. Rain stayed back so long that he's gotten his shuttles, and I believe observers as well out now. See, he's got this shuttle over here.
Okay. Oh, and these mutas, I mean, they haven't done anything. No Templar snipes. Can't fight the Corsairs.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's pretty incredible what we've seen Rain go for here, which is just like the most non-expand game ever. I know that's a pretty clumsy way to say it, but you guys know what I'm saying. Like, he just stayed back far enough.
Oh,
that was a good catch by Zero.
The Hydra hit squad perfectly catches that shuttle. Man, I feel like...
I'm sorry, please go ahead.
No, every other game, ZVP specifically, we've seen Dark Templars get crazy numbers of drone kills. So it seems like Queen or Zero has really tightened up his play against that kind of mid-game style.
And so Protoss slowly pushes out now. Now, there's enough Dragoons and Templars together that you could really take on a lot of Hydras.
Yeah. I mean, anytime you start to see the Zerg player get more supply than the Protoss, you know it's scary to be out on the map.
Yeah, though the Zerg definitely has more supply, but I think the unit composition, depending on where the fights are, might be better for the Protoss here. But let's see.
Trying to come in there, snipe a few probes. Looks like the probes get away safely, but catch out there, see if these Hydras can segment this army. You have to watch out for the storms. Those bridges are deadly. He's trying to snipe the High Templar, gets one.
He does, yeah, he takes that one out, but it doesn't seem like there's any soft spot here. And you're losing a lot of Hydras as you do this. I mean, you're mostly going to be losing Zealots, which are expendable. Another good snipe. The Storm does get off, killing some Hydras. Maybe we're going to see Rain rearrange his army into the middle of the map and try to just push in here.
Yeah, there's a lot of these little clumps of Hydras, so if you extend too far, you risk kind of getting caught out. And oh, another nice High Templar snipe. There's not a lot left in this army.
You know, when you have the Templars and you're trying to move around the map with your main army, a lot of times they get so far behind, they end up taking different pathing as you redirect them.
Oh, yeah.
So here we go. Rain is actually pushing. Now, notice how he's being very patient. He pushes out, wins a fight, and then he regroups. It's hard for the Zerg. There are so many
here we go. 10 mutas, sniping High Templars. They get 1, 2, 3 High Templars. There's no more High Templar left in the army.
And there's no Corsairs there. It's why you need to keep the Corsairs alive for these late game pushes, because the Corsairs are meant to protect, kind of like an Arbiter protects a Protoss's army against Terran, or a Science Vessel protects a Terran army and TVZ.
That's not where those Overlords need to be. Lurkers are out now as well here, so detection becomes a premium. There's only, I think, 2 observers with this army. One might get picked off there in the front. Can't find it.
Okay, so this is a very good position for the Zerg. Keep in mind that...
oh my god, he's still getting High Templars.
This is a great position for the Zerg. Zerg needs to capitalize on this moment and expand to the bottom right quadrant. That needs to happen. It will be hard to contain the Protoss that effectively, though. This high ground area that each side of the map has is very annoying. Zealots can be used like speed vultures to be sent over into the mineral only.
Really nice storms here, but there's still not as many as there would have been if he hadn't lost all of those in the mid game. Now, I'm trying to keep an eye on who's ahead in this game.
I think Rain is playing his position better than Zero is playing his. The Zealots that come in here, this interrupts, reinforcing over here, and he's actually getting really good trades in the middle. It's not a lot of lurkers. So, I mean, it'll depend. I mean, it's very easy for either side to screw this up, right?
Yeah.
You know, a few storms connect with the Zerg's army, or we have a few more Templar snipes here, and it's suddenly hugely problematic.
I will say that Rain is really hitting his stride when it comes to macro. He's got his third base. He's powering on probably 9 gates back in his main, 8 gates.
It's got to be a high number.
Yeah.
That much is for sure.
Because he is almost maxed out right now. He's like 25 supply away. So we are really starting to see Rain really flex those Protoss muscles.
The contain is still present here. Now note how the Hydras are having to go back and protect certain areas, and he's trying to then soften up this area in the middle. It's a very difficult balancing act. It's a little bit easier for the Protoss in this position to move back and forth in between this. And here we go. This is going to be a break in the contain. This is really good here for Rain.
Beautiful storms to start things out, busting through that initial Hydra wall. And man, Rain is, there's just no way Queen can, or Zero can hold up to that.
Yeah, this is pretty astounding what we're seeing here from Rain. He basically juked and jived and played the positional game so much that he's wriggled free. And now he's in the middle of the map here. He'll be getting in the way of rally points here. He has so many Templars.
He can try to snipe that Observer. He actually will get the Observer in the front.
There's a second one already here.
Man, Rain is just so on top of that. That's so hard to do, to keep your High Templar from running in and dying, your Observer's alive. He's able to bust through a lot of this, but it looks like the macro is really good for Zero as well, coming out with Infinity Hydras, but just not enough.
Yeah, you can see that Rain is very aware of where each Templar is and how much energy it has. He's immediately able to switch him into Archons. He's doing a good job of remaking the Zealots, which are always the first to die in these fights. He sends that back in there.
Oh my god, this is so tense. Both players trying to deal damage to one another, but it looks like finally Rain has caught too many of these Hydras out on the map.
Yeah, I think he's actually done enough that he can move in here for a closer. Now, that being said, there's not an additional base here yet for Rain. Well, never mind. There is about to be an additional base here for Rain, and I don't know that that can be stopped either.
Rain just looking so solid. Drones now being hemorrhaged to try to keep that base alive. This is where almost all of Zero's production is, and storms like that massacring the drone line. Oh my god.
Another huge storm over here. GG. Okay.
That's it.
Rain is